Hello friends, my name is Lash. In this video we will learn about how to filter rows and columns in Pandas. Let's get started. First, we will import Pandas with an alias name as PD. Here you can see we are reading file called book.csv with the help of pd.readcsv method. I have already explained this pd.readcsv method in detail in another video. Please watch that video. For now, bring your attention to this useCall parameter. Here you have to pass list of columns that you want to read. Let's suppose you want to read author and title. So in the data frame you can see those two columns are being read. No, you want to read language column also. No problem, you can add it in the list. Control enter to run. You can see this language column is added in the data frame. In case if you want to read all the columns, you simply write pd.readcsv. Here you pass the name of the file and store it in a variable called book. Let's check the information of the book. You can see data type of the book is data frame and the columns in the data frame are title means name of the book, author means writer of the book, rating of the book, language in which book is written, book format means it is Kindle edition, paperback or PDF type, pages means number of pages in the book, num rating means number of people rated this book, liked percentage means percentage of people like this book. When we print this book, it looks something like this. Let's suppose you want to read only title column. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. For that, syntax is data frame followed by square braces. In square braces, you have to mention column name which you want to read. Make sure column name is enclosed within single quotes. In our case, the data frame name is book and the column which we want to read is title. So here you can see this is the title column. Now let's suppose you want to read author column. For that, here you simply need to change the column name. Instead of title, you will write here author. You will notice that this author column will be shown here. Is it possible to read multiple columns? Yes, it is possible. For that, syntax is data frame followed by square braces. In square braces, you have to mention the list of columns you want to read. So here you have created list. The name of the list is column name. If you pass it here in the square braces, it will read those two columns only. Let's run it. Control enter. You can see column names are title and author. No, you want to read another column called language. No problem, you can add it in the list. Now let's run it. Control enter. You will notice that this column language is introduced. In case if you don't want to create this additional variable, then what is the solution? You simply copy this list, Control C and paste it here, Control V. Now even if you delete this line, it will read those columns. Now you have decided that you don't want to read author column. You simply remove this author column from this list. Control enter to run. You can see author column is removed. The sequence in which the column names are written here is the same sequence is preserved in the data frame also. Means first element of the list is language. That's why first column is language. Second element of the list is title. That's why second column is title. Next, we are going to learn how to filter rows based on some condition. Let's suppose you want to filter all the rows whose author is Harper Lee. So the syntax you can see, this is the data frame name. This is the column which you want to compare. You are checking author is Harper Lee or not with the help of this equal operator. Whenever the author is Harper Lee, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So let's check that. This is not Harper Lee, hence it is returning here false. This is also not Harper Lee, hence false here. This is Harper Lee, hence it is true. This is also not Harper Lee, hence it is false. All these are not Harper Lee, hence all these are false. So what this syntax is returning? This is returning a series of true and false. So whenever we pass this series in the square braces of book, what it will do? It will print only those rows in which the value is true. So for our condition, Harper Lee or this true is there for only second index. So it should print only second index. So this is the series of true and false. We are passing it into the books, and the output what we are getting is the second index. There is another way to write the same. First we will create the series of true and false. We will store it into some variable. In our case it is filter. When we pass this filter into square braces of book, it will read only those filters which is true. So same thing is written here in different way. Let's do practical for the same. What this expression will return? It will return series of true or false that we have already seen. It will be true only if the author name is Harper Lee. So in second index, author name was Harper Lee, hence it is true. When we pass this series into the square braces, what will happen? Let's see that. Let's copy the expression, paste here, control enter to run. We can see only second index is printing and the author name is Harper Lee. Another way of writing the same is that first this is the series, you store it into some variable and you pass this variable into the square braces. It will serve the same purpose. Let's see another example. In this example, you have to filter all the rows in which rating is greater than 4. So this is the data frame name, this is the column name, and this is what we are specifying greater than 4. Means rating should be greater than 4. So rating is greater than 4 or not? It is greater than, hence it is true. It is also greater than 4, hence it is true. It is also greater than 4, hence it is true. This is also greater than 4, hence it is true. This is less than 4, hence it is false. Similarly, greater than 4, true. This is less than 4, false. Greater than 4, true. Greater than 4, true. There was one more column for which its value was greater than 4, so true. So you can see only 4th index and 6th index value is false, rest are true. So what it will do? It will not read 4th index and 6th index, or these rows it will read. So this series we are passing it into the square braces, you can see, and in the output you can see 4th index is not there. After 3, 4 is not there, and similarly 6th index after 5, 6 is not there. So those two rows are missing, other data are there as it is. So this is how we filtered all the rows whose rating is greater than 4. Let's do the practical for the same. What this expression will return? It will return series of true and false, like we have discussed just now. So this value will be true whenever the rating is greater than 4. Whenever rating is less than 4, it will return false. So for 4th index and 6th index, it is returning false. So whenever we pass this expression, Control C, into the square braces of books, then what should it do? Control enter to run. We can see we will get all the rows in which rating is greater than 4. You can verify here. All the value are greater than 4. Another way of writing the same, first store this series into some variable name, and you can pass this variable into this square braces here. When you run it with control enter, you can see it is serving the same purpose. All the rating is greater than 4 only. Here you can see this is the series. When we are passing into the square braces of books, it is returning as a data frame. So let's run it. So whenever we are printing this data frame, we can see it looks something like this. From this data frame, let's suppose you want to filter only title column. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. We have seen the syntax earlier also. So the syntax is data frame. After that, inside square braces, you have to pass the column name. The same we are doing it here. Let's run it. So you can see this is the title column of all the rows in which rating is greater than 4. Next, let's suppose we want to read multiple rows. This filtered book we have already seen. It will give us all the rows in which rating is greater than 4. Now we want to read 2 columns from there. So what we need to do? We need to pass here list of column names that we want to read. The syntax we have already seen earlier. So let's run it. You can see that it is filtering these 2 columns, that is title and author, in which rating is greater than 4. Let's suppose you want to read all the rows in which liked percentage column is greater than 90. So this will return a series of true and false. Let's control enter to run. This true and false you can see. So 4th index is false, rest are true. So whenever we are passing this series into the square braces, and when we run it, control enter, you can see only 4th index is not printing. After 3, 5 is directly coming. And you will notice that a like percentage column is always greater than 90. Okay, please re-verify from your end, it is always greater than 90. Is it possible for us to filter rows by applying condition on 2 columns? Yes, it is. Let's see how. We want to read all the rows in which liked percentage is greater than 90 and rating of the book is greater than 4. Let's see how we can do it. If you see here, you will notice that these true are indicating all the rows for which like percentage is greater than 90. For 4th index, like percentage is not greater than 90. Similarly, here these true are representing all the rows in which rating is greater than 4. And for 4th index and 6th index, rating is not greater than 4. When we apply bitwise AND operation on these two, so we will get another boolean series. AND means when both are true, then output will be true. When any one of them is false, then output will be false. Both are true, output is true. Similarly, this both are true, output is true. In 4th index, if you see, both are false, hence output is false. Any one of them is false, and operation what it does, it makes it false. Let me explain once again. When this is true, both are true, then only it will be true. In any other case, it will be false. So when these both are true, hence this is true. But in this example, 6th index, these both are not true, hence this is false. So when we pass this series in the square braces of book, what it will do? It will filter all the rows for which like percentage column is greater than 90 and rating is greater than 4. Here you see the same bitwise AND operation we are doing here. So when we pass this filter into the square braces of book, and when we run it, you will notice that all the rating is greater than 4 and liked percentage is always greater than 90. In this example, inside the square braces of book, we are passing two filter. One is like percentage is greater than 90, another pages is greater than 300. You can see page is greater than 300 and like percentage is greater than 90. Here is another example. In this example, you have to filter all the rows in which author is either Stephen Meyer or Harper Lee or Anne Patchett. So this is the first filter in which we are checking if author is Stephen Meyer or not. So we are storing this Boolean series into filter 1. Similarly, we are checking for Harper Lee, storing it into another filter 2. Similarly, we are checking it for Anne Patchett. We are storing it into filter 3. So how to apply it? So in the square braces of book, you can see filter 1 bitwise OR operation, filter 2 bitwise OR operation, and filter 3. So what it will do? It will filter all the rows in which author is either Stephen Meyer or Harper Lee or Anne Patchett. When we run it, we can see the output. Author is one of them for all the rows. I hope it is making sense for you. Let's suppose we want to filter only rating from this data frame. So how to do this? I hope you are able to understand that this is a data frame, right? And from this data frame, we want to filter only rating column. So we know the syntax. We have to add square braces here, and inside that we have to mention the column name which we want to read. Control enter to run. You can notice that now it is fetching only rating column. In case if you want to read another column also, that is also possible. Instead of passing here one column name, you can pass here list of all the columns which you want to read. Let's suppose you want to read rating as well as author. So what you need to do, inside the square braces, you have to pass list of rating and author. So let me type the same. Again, control enter to run. You can see now it is fetching rating column and author column. Let's do few more examples to help you memorize the syntax. Here we are reading book.csv file and storing it into a variable called books. This book.csv file contains more than 300 rows. Here you have to filter all the rows in which number of pages in the book is greater than 900. So in the square braces of book, you have to pass the filter. In this filter, what we are checking? We are checking if the pages column of the book is greater than 900 or not. Whenever it is greater than 900, it will return true and print those rows only, else it will not print rows. So you can see that all the pages are greater than 900. Next question says that you have to filter all the thick books. Means you have to filter all the books whose number of pages is greater than 900, and those books should be most liked. Means this liked percentage column should be greater than 96. So in this square braces of books, we need two filters. One for checking if page is greater than 900 and one for checking if liked percentage column is greater than 96 or not. We are applying bitwise AND operation in both the filters. Means whenever both the conditions are satisfied, then only it will print the rows, otherwise it will not. It means for all the rows you will notice that pages are greater than 900 as well as liked percentage is greater than 96. In next example, you have to filter all the good books. What is the criteria of good books? Criteria of good book is that either rating is very good or liked percentage is very high. So here again in the square braces of books, we are passing two filters. One for checking if rating is greater than 4.5 or not, and another for checking if liked percentage is greater than 98 or not. We are applying bitwise OR operation, means if any one of these two condition is true, then it will print the rows. When we run it, control enter, you can see either rating is greater than 4.5 or liked percentage is greater than 98 for all the filtered rows. Okay. This is another filter in which we are checking book format is equal to Kindle edition or not. So there is a column called book filter. We are checking this is Kindle edition or not. So for this row it will be false because it is not Kindle edition. Similarly, for this row it will be true because it is Kindle edition. So it will return series of true and false. It will return true only if book format is Kindle edition. Otherwise it will return false. When we apply not operation, bitwise not operation on the top of this filter, what it will do? It will make all false to true and true to false. That's what it is doing here. It is converting this false into true, and whenever there is true, it will make false. Let's pass this filter without bitwise not operator in the square braces of books. Control enter. You can see it is filtering all the rows in which book format is Kindle edition. Here, what if we apply bitwise not operation here? Let's run it. You will notice that it is filtering all the rows in which book format is not Kindle edition because of this bitwise not operation. You can notice here. Is there any other way to achieve the same? Yes, there is. If you don't want to use bitwise not, what you need to do? You can write here not equal to. Why not here we are applying bitwise not? Because here we are working with strings, and with strings we can use not equal to. So let's run it. Control enter. Still the output is same. All the rows book format is not Kindle edition. By now you must have noticed that sometime we are using bitwise operations here. But why we are using bitwise operations? So if you notice here in this example, it is returning true or false, and internally Pandas stores these true and false in bits, 1 for true and 0 for false. And whenever you have to apply any operation on bits, then you have to use bitwise operators only. You cannot apply logical and logical OR on bits. So here in this example, this is also Boolean series of true and false, and true or false are stored in bits, and this is also Boolean series of true and false, and again these true and false are stored in bits, and you have to apply any operation, then it will be bitwise operation. Hence we are applying bitwise OR operation, not logical OR operation. Similarly, here also we are using bitwise AND operation instead of logical AND. I hope it is clear for you. That's all for this video. In next video we are going to learn all about iloc and loc. We'll see how to filter rows with the help of iloc and loc, how to print alternate rows, how to print rows in the reverse order, how to print selected rows, and many more. Please do subscribe and like this video.